All right, let's talk about conduit fill. So check this out. The number of conductors you're allowed to pull in a conduit, not taking ampacity corrections into consideration, is going to be covered by NEC Chapter 9, Table 1. So if you guys open up your code books and take a look at Chapter 9, Table 1, you'll notice that the overwhelming majority of the time, you're only allowed to fill up a conduit to 40%. There are a few exceptions to that rule, and we'll cover that in a later video. So how do we calculate that? Well, we need to know two things. We need to know the cross-sectional area of the conduit and the approximate area of the conductors we're pulling. So if we flip on over to Chapter 9, Table 4, you'll see that we have every single type of conduit, the cross-sectional area of each size, and different percentages of those cross-sectional areas. You'll see why that comes into play here in a second. And if we flip on over to Chapter 9, Table 5, you'll see that we have every single type of conductor and the approximate area of each size of those conductors. So how do we apply that? Well, let's say we want to figure out how many number 12 THHN conductors we can fit inside a half-inch EMT. So the first thing you're going to do is go to Chapter 9, Table 4, and you're going to locate EMT, which is right here. Now, a minute ago, we discussed that the overwhelming majority of the time, you can only fill that conduit up to 40%. So we're going to go find half-inch right here on the table, and then 40% has an approximate area of 0.122 square inches. Go ahead and jot that down right here, 0.122 square inches. Now we're going to flip on over to Chapter 9, Table 5, and we're going to find THHN. It's going to be right here. We're going to find number 12. We're going to pan over to the approximate area in square inches, and it's going to be 0.0133 square inches. So 0.0133 square inches. And then you're going to bust out the Math Doer 5000, and you're going to type in 0.122 divided by 0.0133, and that equals 9.17 approximately. So the correct answer is going to be 9 conductors. Now, like I said, it's not always going to be 40%, and we'll talk about that in a later video. And yes, I know there's a cheat sheet in Annex C, but it's not always going to be that simple. If you get a question where there's different size wires, Annex C is not going to help you, so that's why it's important to learn how to do the math. Anyway, so hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. If you have any more questions, you can always DM me or drop it down in the comments below.